In this lesson, we will introduce the concept of sustainability in relation to the dynamics of the city so that we can reflect on the complex and multidimensional nature of urban sustainability. Let's start with a fundamental question. Why are cities the place where the environmental crisis and climate change are most evident? Cities are, at the same time, the places where innovation and value are produced, where the majority of the world's population is concentrated, where non-renewable resources are consumed, and where social and spatial inequalities and injustices are generated. In recent decades, cities have been the stage for the transition to a new geological epoch in our planet's life, which some scholars have called the Anthropocene. The Anthropocene, according to Nobel Prize-winning chemist Paul Crutzen, is a new geological era characterized by the impact of human activity on the planet. So, this is not a natural event. The climate and environmental crisis in cities is the result of an unsustainable development model that creates risks and produces poverty and inequality. What major changes have led to this urban condition? According to the great philosopher Michel Serres, we are witnessing an epochal transition that is the result of 6 events, which are interconnected, at the intersection of technological change, demographic shifts, and social transition. The 6 events are: the largest migration of people ever from the countryside to the cities, the total mobilization of goods and people due to technological innovation in the transportation sector, the extraordinary and at the same time unsettling development of life and health technologies, the widespread, though varied, increase in life expectancy and the reduction of infant mortality, which has led to the greatest demographic transition in history, the development of network technologies, which have led to a steady increase in connectivity and virtual relationships, and the rise of increasingly dangerous and lethal military technologies in a context of growing conflict and geopolitical uncertainty. What are the consequences of these processes on the cities of the world? The unsustainability of the urban development model is linked to issues of environmental risk and climate change, problems of soil, air, and water pollution, the phenomenon of congestion caused by traffic, land consumption, and the low energy and environmental efficiency of the built environment. The problems of urban sustainability are not the same in different parts of the world and for different social groups. Environmental problems do not affect cities in the same way in more developed countries and the large urban areas of the global south, where the poorest populations are concentrated. On the other hand, even in the same cities of the global north, environmental and climate disasters mainly affect the most vulnerable social groups. To give just one example, Hurricane Katrina, which struck New Orleans in 2005, had a particularly devastating impact on the poor and marginalized communities of the city. The areas of New Orleans where a large percentage of African Americans and people living in poverty resided were the hardest hit by the flooding. This tragedy highlighted the existing inequalities in cities in terms of access to basic services, healthcare, and education. So, what are the key dimensions and what possible strategies can be used to strengthen urban sustainability? The 11th United Nations Sustainable Development Goal aims to transform urban centers into sustainable cities by ensuring that the entire population has access to housing, basic services, and adequate, affordable, and safe transportation, especially for the most vulnerable people. To ensure the achievement of these goals, it is necessary to consider the different dimensions of urban sustainability together. The environmental dimension, including through the experimentation with smart urban technologies. The economic dimension, in order to help transition economies toward a new era of green urban economy. The social dimension, by strongly supporting the reduction of inequalities and ensuring fair access to urban services for all citizens and city users, and the cultural dimension, by promoting initiatives and actions capable of influencing changes in everyday behavior. The multidimensional nature of urban sustainability, first and foremost, requires a radical rethinking of the development model. In the 20th century, urban economies and city governance were driven by the paradigm of growth. Today, this paradigm must be abandoned in order to envision development that is fair and resilient in the face of the dramatic challenges posed by climate change. To achieve this new development model, it is essential to ensure that the ecological transition of cities is also able to reduce inequalities between social groups and between different territories. There can be no sustainable urban development without greater social justice that encompasses all urban areas, from the wealthiest to the poorest. A more sustainable city is also a more democratic city, where citizens are directly involved in taking care of common goods and play a leading role in the ecological transition. That's why the participatory dimension is fundamental in sustainability strategies. Sustainable urban development needs strategies, projects, and policies. It needs technology and participation. It needs public investment and commitment from private businesses. Only the convergence of these different factors can give us hope for a more just and sustainable urban future. In the next lessons, we will see how to understand the different dimensions of sustainability and what tools can be used to promote fair and sustainable urban development.